We are days away from the expiration date of U.S. federal bill ending corporal punishment in schools Act, H.R. 3027, a bill that would end more than 90% of crimes committed against American school children, even amongst each other, as they follow the example of educators who model violent ways of solving conflicts. H.R. 3027 would certainly impact in a good way by nearly 100%. The reason for American schools being considered one of the 4 death traps for USA children, as so many are abused, even fatally, by their unprofessional and criminal American so-called educators. The Hitting Stops Here, a national organization for having safe USA schools, has been alerting U.S. citizens to the fact that time still remains for having H.R. 3027 pass into law until the very last minute of the present 112th Congress, which is January 2nd, 2013. And I want to share an article which illustrates this fact. Obama has been racing to have middle-class income tax federal legislation signed into law before the last day of the present Congress. Federal legislation like H.R. 3027 that would have to make it through both the House and Senate within this very short period of time. Here are some differences between the two legislations. Number 1. The tax legislation as of December 22nd was still incomplete and in need of more work before it could go through the House and the Senate. On the other hand, H.R. 3027 is complete and has been ready to go through both the House and Senate since September 22nd, 2011. Number 2. The president is in favor of the tax legislation, as Obama encouraged Congress to work together for its success, saying to congressional leaders, work towards a package that prevents a tax hike on middle-class Americans. The president appears to be unmoved by legislation needed for having safer USA schools, in spite of the recent tragic Connecticut school campus event. As president, he can encourage Congress to have H.R. 3027 arrive on his desk at the very same time as the tax bill, since it's already perfectly in order for gaining his signature for a second time during his time in the Oval Office. And although the campaign for having legislation signed into law for having safe USA schools has been labor-intensive and to date unsuccessful, the president said these words about the tax legislation. Once this legislation is agreed to, I expect Democrats and Republicans to get back to Washington and have it pass both chambers. And I will immediately sign that legislation into law before January 1st of next year. It's that simple, he said. America, it is and has been that simple for the president to see to it about federal legislation that bans school beatings faced by America's primarily low-income citizens. He ended his remarks by saying, I want to wish every American a Merry Christmas. How many Americans would enjoy a Merry Christmas knowing that they are subject to being beaten by those in authority of them, even if those Americans are only poor and disabled USA school children? The expiration of Ending Corporal Punishment in Schools Act, H.R. 3027, is inexcusable, as illustrated in this article of December 22nd, 2012. And signals Obama's callousness, lack of integrity, and hypocrisy as a leader, as he has displayed in so many ways, leaving Americans to suffer from inside a typical USA classroom to Guantanamo Bay. How many more children must be harmed, even fatally, before U.S. citizens participate as we, the people, to bring this U.S. social ill to pass.
This seems more urgent to be passing through Congress than a tax bill. Well, I'll do all I can to help. You guys out there will as well. More violence, it's pretty bad with the Connecticut shootings. It seems like if they allow this in school and they're not really doing much about that, it's just going to get worse unless we put a stop to this to begin with.